See? Wendell's already looking at me like I'm crazy. We got a special guest in the house. Come on now. Long-time friend, Mr. Wendell Holmes. Come on, Wendell.
What's up, man?
This is your first podcast ever that you've ever done.
Yeah, that you know of.
Oh. Have you ever listened to a podcast?
Yes.
All right. I'm just making sure you can. It's just basically sitting around talking. I asked him at lunch today. I was like, you good with coming over and hanging out and doing a podcast? He was like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I mean, you got to.
That's an honest answer.
I know. And I'm like, look, we're just going to talk about everything going on. You did a video for us. It'll be shown this Sunday. You're actually going to be on the video. And then I said, we just got to go and unpack a little bit more because you only got, there's about, 3 minutes of the service. We kind of did a little reminiscent of, we've been friends a long time.
Yeah, we've been friends a long time.
And he's black, just for the record. Because everybody's like, if they're listening, they're like, well, what makes him special? Today, baby, that's my boy. He's my boy right now. This is my friend. Oh, did I get too loud? I'm telling you because I love him, dude. This is a dude.
I know.
That's all I get, just 2 claps?
Oh, no, I'm going to give you a lot. Come on, man. Yeah, we're all clapping. What I'm telling you is we figured it out yesterday. I did look it up.
Yeah.
2009 is when we first started kind of hanging out. And you're at Second Mount Zion over in Cedar Grove area.
Yes, sir.
Is that West 69th or 68th?
East
69th.
Come on now, get on the right side.
I know it. I couldn't remember. That's my bad. East 69th.
East 69.
But we've been going over there. And it started when we did the first, I looked it up. It was the first time the Simple Church did Don't Go to Church, Be the Church.
Yeah.
And we did a work day. And it was one of the first projects. We went over there, and I found the pictures. Dad was actually helping on that day, John.
He
Really?
was.
Yep. My dad.
Oh,
Papa.
did he?
And I looked it up. What we did, Wendell, was chairs. You needed chairs for the fellowship hall.
Well, I told you about that.
I know, but I had forgot.
You know I told you about the trailer and all that?
Yeah, it was like
because
chairs.
didn't I bring the trailer?
Yeah.
You brought the trailer. Yeah.
And there's not a lot of pictures, but I
And-
found one of me and you. Finally, I did look.
And remember, I was a little late. You beat me.
Why were you late?
You can't be late to your own party.
Yeah, I'm really not a morning person.
Okay. We know another guy like that in the room.
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That would
That's
be
me.
there.
We got something in common.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so the reason I'm trying to let people know, the listeners are out there, they don't know. We've been friends a long time.
Long time.
We've been partnering with Second Mount Zion, which does. This is the church you grew up in?
Yeah, ever since I was a little boy.
That's right. And so now your uncle is the pastor.
Yes.
That's new. That's only happened recently.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like interim.
Yeah, that's right. But his mama can cook. We took her to Superior. Remember when we took her to Superior over on?
Yeah, we did.
She didn't even know what to order. I was like,
it was all new to her.
yeah. I said, Mama, just go with us.
What does she cook that's really good?
Everything.
Everything.
You have a favorite?
All of it.
She's good.
Come on
man.
now, you got a favorite.
She's good. She's good.
No, she can
Like
do
with
it.
my
Yeah.
mama, it was
Hey.
beef tips and rice.
Yeah, she was
My
good at it.
mama, everything.
You can't even pick nothing.
And hey, and this is the connection to his mama. His mama actually has worked for Tom Harrison for
Yeah.
how many years? He's over at Broadmoor Baptist.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years because we talked about that forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she's a sweet, sweet lady.
Yep.
Sweet, sweet lady. So let's get back into you because anyway, those are just something we gone out to eat. We done all that. But over the years, it was really just trying to help any way we could. So we came up with some ways to do that with sound equipment and painting and cutting up and all that.
Yeah.
It was really about the friendship, hanging
About
out.
the friendship, but you kind of got in there. You kind of a little sneaky. It was a little sneaky thing. You did.
Why? What are you talking about?
Because
Sneaky?
you asked me, hey man, what y'all got going on? And I told you about the spring cleaning and all that, and you said, yeah, well, what y'all doing? Yeah, any projects y'all working on? And I told
He's
you,
sneaky.
yeah, I told you about that. And,
And
he
then
was
we
like,
made it happen.
Well, and he was like, hey man, how many people y'all trying to fit back there? And you told me. And well, how many tables is that gonna be? And I don't know. You said let's work it out.
Yeah.
And we worked it out. We said, yeah. And you came up and you was like, yeah, man, probably about this. You need about this many. And that morning you showed up in the trailer. Yeah. He's like, hey man,
You're
can you help
welcome.
Me? Yeah. Can you help me get some stuff out of the trailer? And open the trailer, and there it was, man.
We had chairs and tables and
Awesome.
all kind of fun stuff. But then the cool part was too. So that was the beginning, because then it kind of went on. So we did a little work day, and then they came and did flower beds.
What'd you do that day, though?
That day, we painted. There's pictures, because I didn't remember.
Yeah.
And I got a picture of a paintbrush in my hand, so don't be hollering. I
You
saw that
probably-
look.
You probably picked it up
It
from
was
somebody
staged.
else.
It's one of them
Hey,
photo ops.
and you was right there with me, late boy. You was late.
I guess.
Yeah. He was always tripping.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Hey, I got to tell you, they had me watching you.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, Simple Church.
Yeah, so it was more like supervisor.
Watch Justin.
That's
what
wise
he
right
said.
there.
Yeah,
They were
he said,
smart.
That's
watch
very
it.
wise.
Yeah.
So then, after all these years, we just went back a couple of. I don't know if I cannot find the pictures. I looked today. I got home. And started looking for these pictures. We just painted. Our kids went over there, Angie, and then they cooked for us the last time. Dude, we had a party last time.
We did, man. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was real good. They
nice.
fixed all the food. We
Was
put
it
in
fish?
computer. I think we had fried fish. Yeah, we ate. We filled the fellowship hall up
Yeah.
with people.
How many times you eat?
Does it look like I'm missing a meal?
Yeah, we move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Okay.
And then I was trying to think. We put a computer workstation in for you too.
Two.
Yeah, so that they
Yeah.
could have the kids do their homework and
Yeah.
internet and all. All I
Yeah,
say
because
that
I was telling you about Bible study and all
Yep.
that, and sometimes the kids have homework. And
Yep.
They they go to the back, and then some of them trying to work on the iPad and all, and you like. And we went and ate lunch that day.
and
he's
Jim
like,
Mosh is the one that actually helped. He said,
Yeah.
"Man, I'm gonna hook you up."
Yeah,
That's cool.
Is that
That's Jim.
picture?
Mhm. Yep.
Yep.
hmm Making it happen, baby.
making it happen?
But the reason I love Wendell's, he's always committed to that church, always trying to help. Because there's a lot that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then we went and did Laundry Love on East 69th
East
on a
69th.
Sunday morning. You remember that?
69th at Line Avenue.
Yep, 69th and Line Avenue. Do you
Yep.
remember on that,
I
though?
remember that.
Because y'all didn't want to come down there and help at first.
Wait, you gonna say that like that?
Yeah, because I said, man, Wendell, why don't you come down here and y'all help us out? I mean, it's not even a block from your church.
You gonna say I didn't want to come?
Well, I'm not saying you did. I said
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
Wayne. I'm gonna put Wayne out there.
Don't
I don't
do
think,
Wayne like that.
but we got it all done. They came down and visited. We hung out,
yeah.
which was awesome. Just
Yeah.
some good stuff.
It was nice, man.
All right, so let's talk about why we're here, though. Let's keep it real. All right. So yesterday we filmed some video. We got a little video stuff going on, putting in the service because it ain't no secret we got issues in America.
Absolutely.
So with all these issues that are going on, we've had a friendship for a long time, so it's easy to discuss and talk and kind of work through things. So I wanted to have you on the podcast to, number one, help us understand from your community, from your perspective, how we can really be a part of the change. We want to listen. We want to learn. We want to be open to that. So we did a little bit of that on the video yesterday, but if you've had time to think about it, is there anything that you would like to help us with or to guide us on or direct us or help us understand? Because I don't think everybody understands. Some people really don't get it. They don't really know what's going on. Now, I don't know if we can help them get it, but
Well, they ain't gonna get it overnight.
yeah, that's the truth.
It's gonna take time, man. I think communication, man.
Mhm.
Sitting down and talking.
Right.
Kind of like me and you. We've sat down and we've talked, and we're just being honest with each other.
Right.
And I think that's what it's gonna take. And if there's an issue, I think the first step into overcoming something is you got to first acknowledge that it does exist.
Yeah.
And once you get there, you acknowledge it, then you can move forward.
Right.
You know.
So let's talk about what does exist. In my mind, what you mean by that is racism does exist.
Absolutely.
Prejudice does exist.
Absolutely.
What else in your mind? Are those the main two things when you say recognize that racism and prejudice,
Yeah,
primarily?
Yeah, and stereotyping and,
Yeah.
and all that kind of, yeah.
Because that's the thing that I think me and John were talking about before we got over here is our family, there were moments, our grandparents, I'd probably say, had some racial tendencies. John's quiet on that one.
I'm having to listen. I'm taking Wendell's advice.
Yeah. But let's talk about and be transparent because I think, like, depending on circumstances or situation, maybe the way they were raised, maybe something they went through, none of it justified, but I think they were. And I remember hearing words or comments that I thought,
Right.
And then we talked about my mom came in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the next generation. My dad was just passive about it.
Yeah.
I don't think he really was, like, strong either way. He didn't lead in that way. Now, he listens to the podcast. He'll be like, well, great. Call and correct me then, Pop. Tell me I'm wrong. But from my recollection, am I wrong on that?
That's right.
I mean, I'm just being fair.
Yeah.
And then my mom, growing up, younger and through my middle teenage, and she was strong against racism. She was
Right.
like, you got to treat everybody the same. There ain't no different, blah, 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 blah. And I think we did. I mean, we lived in a predominantly white neighborhood. I can't remember a
Right.
whole lot of black people in our neighborhood. But I went to school with black people.
Yeah.
Well, you got bused to a school that had
Yeah.
a lot more black folks.
Yeah, and I'll talk
because-
about this Sunday. But,
Right.
yeah, you didn't.
I didn't.
See,
No,
I
so that
did.
was a different experience because
You're 3 years older than me.
Yeah, the desegregation didn't start until he was in junior high.
1983.
Yeah, I was already in high school by then, so
We went to
we had a
Ridgewood.
little different experience because of that.
Yeah, so he went to, well, we grew up in Werner Park, all right, Werner Park neighborhood, which again was mixed for sure. It wasn't white. So we had that experience growing up, and that was because we couldn't really, at that point, that was what they could afford. Their income, what they grew up, what they were able to do, that's where our parents lived. And then we moved from there to South Shreveport because he wanted to be closer to Western Electric when he was working out there. And that's when it really became more white. Southern Hills, it was predominantly white. But when all of that happened, my mom, I guess because of where she'd come from and the way she was, had grown up, she was just trying to treat everybody the same. Well, where it got challenging is from most of my elementary and then junior high, 7th grade, went to Ridgewood. And then 8th grade, they bused us to Oak Terrace. You know where Oak Terrace is?
Yes.
'Cause
That's
you
over there
grew
by where the cable place. Yeah.
You know
That's it.
exactly where it
Cable
is.
Vision is
Oh, yeah.
Shreveport.
All right,
yeah.
so the reason I bring that up is that's when it got real.
Yeah.
Is because that was a predominantly black school, and we were predominantly white being shipped in because there were some that from that district that were moving. But it became, didn't want us there.
Well, I experienced that too, though.
What year were you?
I don't know if you've
Where'd you
heard
go to
of
school?
81st Elementary School.
Okay.
That's in Cedar Grove.
I didn't know. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's on Fairfield. It's not
Okay.
far from the church.
Okay.
And I was taken out of that school, and I was bused to Forest Hill.
What year was this one?
Man, you gonna make me go back.
Because mine was 83.
Well, how
No,
old,
it
how old
it
are
was
you?
later than that, man.
So how old are you?
Yeah, don't do me like that.
No, it helps us do
Dude,
the
it helps
math.
us to do the math.
46.
46.
Oh, you young.
Yeah.
You a young buck. You look good, too, though. Look at it.
Oh, you
He
got him laughing
smiled.
on
Come
that.
on.
Look on
man.
YouTube.
Yeah.
You can look at YouTube,
Come
watch
on,
that
man.
smile come on. He said,
was
yes.
nice.
Come on.
And you cleaned
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's
Boy,
right,
you look
ladies.
good.
That's right.
I didn't even know you owned cowboy boots. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but come on, man. We ain't getting into all that. Go
Yeah,
back
but
to,
yeah.
so you
They
got,
match
what
your
grade
shirt,
were
by the
you
way.
in?
Man,
do.
I think I think it was 3rd grade.
Okay.
Forest Hill. That's out in our area.
Yeah, Forest Hills.
Isn't that
And-
it? That's what I'm saying. See, so
Yeah.
they were moving.
Yeah,
They were just
Everybody.
trading you out.
exactly.
I bet it was around
And
the
that
same
was in
time.
the 80s?
Yes.
Mine was
Really?
83.
Yes.
Wow.
So he would have been 86-ish.
So they were still.
interesting.
But what's interesting, why I'm confused by that, because I talked to my friends about it. Terry. I got Terry, who buddy went to high school with me. He was bused with me over there. Go ahead and pop the tops.
Go
Scott.
ahead.
Okay.
By the way,
Now,
that's
Sorry,
a
I'm
Coke.
thirsty.
That's
Yeah.
a Coke
That's a
Zero
Coke-
Cherry.
Coke Zero
Yeah,
Cherry.
make sure. Sound like things was getting loose already.
Sorry, I'm like, my throat is dry. I
I
apologize.
understand.
And I'm not even talking.
I understand.
Yeah,
so,
he didn't just
Yeah,
chunk
this
his
is
sobriety coin. what
Yeah,
we're trying
right,
to say.
yeah. Okay, man.
All I
Keep
got
that.
right here was this right here.
dude, I got you water. We went to lunch today, and you
Well,
didn't
we
drink
gotta
any.
we gotta clear this up real quick because
I even offered you some of my Coke.
Yeah, Justin brought Wendell a bottle of water over
Yeah.
here.
Because we went to lunch today, and he drank water, please. And then I said, you want dessert? Man, I'm trying to watch it. I don't need those calories. I'm going to try to. I said, okay, that's cool, man. And I still made you take a bite of it. We shared
yeah.
a cheesecake at lunch today. I
Where,
said,
where did you get
Hey,
the cheesecake?
we didn't share it.
Did y'all use two
well, what do you
forks?
mean you can't
You
share
Did
it?
you share the fork?
Dude,
or
I
you-
ain't scared to say
No,
we shared it.
No, I'm just saying I don't. Me and sharing the
Man,
cheesecake,
dude, I'm
come on.
secure in
Come
my
on.
manhood.
I understand that.
I'm
Yeah.
secure in
Look.
I tasted it.
that. Okay, there
Yeah,
you go.
okay.
So I gave him a
okay.
bite.
Was
Yeah.
that at Bojack's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's some good
He loves
cheesecake.
that cheesecake,
it
man.
was nice.
He's not a banana
it's
guy.
But look, it's almost like you're on a mission to make sure everybody experiences that cheesecake.
Well, because it might be
Is that-
gone.
yeah,
We're
that's-
trying to.
yeah.
There's some chance that it might be
yeah,
gone.
Good point.
Why?
So there's a supply issue. Now, I was
Oh.
told
It just
today.
got serious, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I
That
was,
makes me sad.
I was told today they're going to figure it out that they think it's going to happen. so they ain't gonna worry about it.
Whew.
But,
Man, you
I
made me
I
nervous.
like how you looked at my belly when you said that.
no, I was actually looking at you swinging that mic because I've never seen that technique of muting before. What happened to your mute button?
Well, it hurts my pinky.
Oh my!
Man,
See,
that's
what it
the problem
does.
with the world
Wendell.
today.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
this is keeping it real now.
Yes.
That pushing the button hurts his pinky.
It hurts my pinky.
Oh my! All right, get back to
Okay,
So
sorry.
So you got. What was your experience when you got bused to
man,
Forest Hills?
It was different. It was
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Did they treat you different?
Man, no, not really.
That's a good
not
thing.
not at that time.
Right.
But you got to understand, man. We were younger kids.
Right.
We were younger kids, and hadn't really been introduced to, because kids are. Let me go back. You can put small kids in a room and they'll play.
Right.
They ain't looking at color. They just playing. They having
True.
fun
Yeah.
until that's introduced to them,
Right.
and then they realize, oh,
Right.
maybe I'm supposed to look at him different because he looks this way, or maybe I'm supposed to look at her different,
Right.
because she looks that way.
See,
And that's where it gets messed up.
and so you can remember that happening
Yeah.
after a couple of years, or
Yeah. I went to when I left there, I went to Ridgewood.
Isn't that it? Now here's what's funny, Wendell. I walked to Ridgewood, and they bust me to Oak Terrace,
Oh yeah.
and you could probably have walked
I
to.
could have walked to the middle school in my neighborhood.
And they bust you over to Ridgewood.
Bust
I
me to
did
Ridgewood.
walk to Ridgewood.
Yeah, I did. I walked my
2
seventh
years.
grade year.
Yeah.
So then when
Yeah.
you got to middle school, it got real.
It got real, man. Yeah, it got real.
That's so good.
Yeah.
It was the same way at Oak Terrace.
Absolutely.
Now I'm thankful for it now because there were lessons I think that I learned, and it's a part of the experience that I think made me who I am. But I can be, and I'm gonna say this Sunday in the message. I was scared at first, and the reason why is they were. When I say the black kids were violent towards us when we got there. So there were fights in the hall, and then the white kids that I knew, we gonna fight. They rallied up like it was gonna be us versus them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna show a picture Sunday. Dude, I was a little kid. I was scared. I ain't fighting. No, I'm a lover, baby. I ain't no fighter. So I was like, dude, I had them on long Buster Brown haircut. I mean, I was a skinny old
We talked
little.
about that hair.
Yeah, we talked about yours too in the video. We'll see if it gets edited in for
Okay.
Sunday.
All right.
Wendell had hair.
Man, I got even in that picture I'm gonna show you, he had some hair.
It was nice too.
Oh,
But he said he
that's
needed his
awesome.
family to be honest with him and say, dude, tell me, keep it straight if it ain't right. And they finally kept it real.
My oldest sister.
She said, you need to.
It's been leaving you.
She don't mind his hair. She said,
It's been
you,
leaving
you
you.
need to go ahead and
And he
quit.
just told me it's time for me to shave mine off.
Man, people got to be honest with people
He
these
said,
days.
But
let
what
it
a-
go, John.
You
but
gotta
his-
be honest with
But I'm gonna be honest, his wife, I don't know if she's gonna dig that.
Yeah, I got that wrinkly head in the back.
It's like
That's
a
the problem.
Shar-Pei.
It is.
I
See,
feel
like
you.
you got a good looking head, like the shape of yours.
Yeah.
When yours is shaved, it looks
So
good.
you
But,
got the
but I got them wrinkles where it looks like I got lines in between
a
them.
little
And,
pack of hot dogs back there.
No, if you're looking for a pack of hot dogs,
He said hot dog head one and
Yeah.
hot dog head two.
mine's like a double pack. They're just
Not every-
rolled on rolled.
Not everybody can pull it off. When
Yeah, yeah.
Wendell can. He's got
Yeah.
this. He's smooth. All right. So anyway, so you go back to Ridgewood. Wasn't great. Then where'd you go to high school?
I went to Captain Shreve High School.
So then they bust you back to Captain Shreve
Yes.
because you should have went to Southwood if you stayed
Yeah.
at Ridgewood.
Yeah, but I went to Captain Shreve for high school.
See, that's what's crazy. See, so I went from Ridgewood to Oak Terrace, from Oak Terrace to Southwood.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we didn't go to
Yeah.
Fair Park or why
I
they
was-
didn't switch us in.
I was going to fact check
or
this.
Woodlawn. We would have been Woodlawn, not Fair Park.
Yeah, I was going to fact check this and I didn't have time, but it seems like in all the stories I hear, when you got back to high school age, you went back to your geographic school. I don't know if it was just an
Would you have gone to
experiment.
Captain Shreve either way? That would have been
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I think that's
Captain
why
Shreve.
it was working.
But why?
I don't know. I don't know if it was a junior high experiment and then
See, because I did a little research trying to get ready for Sunday, and it looked like across America in the 80s that's what they were trying to do. So it
Right.
had gone from the 60s, and maybe they skipped a decade, and in the 80s they were trying it again.
They tried it again.
Yeah.
yeah, what's interesting for my high school experience, I went to Caddo Magnet.
Doing,
But hold on.
hold on, this is you remember
Hold on now.
you
this-
remember how Magnet happened? It's supposed to be the smart people.
it was smart people.
Somehow they blinked and let one in.
Hey, I went to magnet school.
as I was saying, blink, let two in.
Yeah.
Two in.
Yeah.
Judson Fundamental Magnet is where I went.
Yeah.
Man, you better be careful. That's a mouthful right
It
there.
is.
Judson.
But what I remember, what was interesting is it was old Valencia Junior High.
Yep.
Is what they converted it out of, and I can honestly say I had never seen projects until I went to high school there, because right across the street,
Right across the street.
there's a true project, like
Yeah.
a really, really rough part of town. And I remember thinking, wow, I've never seen that before. So it was kind of my first exposure to a different lifestyle that's really challenging. I remember driving by one morning and there was an apartment with no wall on one side.
What
You
happened?
could see inside that. I guess it just fell off or something. You could
Wow.
see inside their apartment, and it stayed that way for a while.
Yeah.
I just remember being as a young guy going, man, this is different.
And we grew up in the projects, ironically. Werner Park wasn't the projects, but
Yeah.
dude, them houses were
They were little.
small, bro.
They were little.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite as rough as
No.
Valencia area, though.
All right, so in those lessons,
It was a little house, but it was big enough for you.
well, the irony is,
Not really.
Not for y'all.
well,
Oh, you just don't know my mom and dad.
yeah. So they never slept in the same bedroom. So so me and my brother, from the time we were born, we shared a bedroom until he graduated high school.
Now, what you're not remembering on Randolph, though, in Warner Park, is mom slept in the laundry room.
Yeah, she slept behind us in the laundry room
In
there
the
was only
laundry room?
there were only
Laundry
two bedroom
room.
house and a laundry room. She slept in the laundry room, so they had to sleep in the same bedroom.
So me and Justin got a bedroom, Dad got a bedroom, and Mom slept in the laundry room.
Yep. And snored like a freight train.
The laundry.
I'm telling
Was
you.
there-
My mom.
Really?
We're like, man, that lady.
Was there a bed in there? Or?
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
a twin size bed
Yeah.
in there.
It's pretty good size little laundry room.
Yeah.
2-bedroom house though.
Yeah. So that's when I say it
Attic
wasn't quite
fan.
big
Even
enough.
when
attic
you were
fan.
kids.
Yeah,
Little.
attic
We were
fan.
little. I
know,
was 10.
I know about the attic fan.
No air conditioning, no carpet, no
Let the
shower.
windows up at night.
Yep.
Yeah, I had an attic.
Now, there's a
Turn the
future. It's a
attic.
previous podcast where we address how excited we were to have sliding glass windows and carpet.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
So,
issue.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so when you went back to Captain Shreve, racism, prejudice, no, because I don't remember much in high school myself.
I remember some, but not a whole bunch.
See, because
You know.
Myers wasn't. That's where I started having black friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some in other grades, but I mean, that's where it really, because that we didn't really think about it. And from '84, I went from '84 to '87 was my high school span, and it really wasn't an issue. Now there might have been somebody could correct me on that, and they always do. Somebody went to school, like, man, you forget this, but I don't really remember that. Michael Thomas, a black guy that played football, was one of our good friends. That dude was just as solid as a rock. I love him to this day. And he was in Shreveport for the longest time. He called me one day. I hadn't seen him since high school, but just good dude. I mean,
Yeah.
good people. But that's why we're trying to learn, because now, from then on, it's been different.
Yeah, it's been different. It's been rough at some points, man.
Well, in your opinion, Wendell, when did it shift? Like, is there a time period where, from your perspective, that the turn started happening?
Man, just going to school, it was different, you know. But when I began to work, man, that's when.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, your first job was what?
Man, I worked at the Kroger when it was on Benton Road.
All right.
My first job was Kroger.
Kroger?
On Mansfield Road.
Oh yeah,
Kroger on Benton. Where was that?
Right by our office.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Planet
Sorry.
Fitness right now.
Come on, man.
sorry.
So you were a sacker.
Yeah.
That's what I did, man. See, there's a connection.
Wait a minute, I could have went in the door and I could have went in the meat market, man.
No, I didn't come in the meat market. I was paper or plastic, but it was paper only back then. We didn't have plastic.
No, I had plastic.
See, you
It
young.
was in. Plastic was in then.
We did that pop of that bag, though. Wah-bah!
Yeah.
Put it down there. That was good. I loved it. So, was there racism there or prejudice there?
Yeah, yes. Even some of the customers, man, wouldn't want you to sack their groceries, you know, because I just
That's weird, man.
yeah. And I was a kid then, man, and you know, adults treating a kid like that, because you know I was still in school. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, adults treating a kid like that, man, and of course there, you know, some adults that worked in the store, and they like, hey, come over here and brush it off,
Right.
you gonna have people like that, and you know. But it was hard, you know, to be a kid and have to deal with that.
Sure.
You know.
What did your mom and dad say to you about that? Like, so when you went in, did y'all go home and y'all talk about it? When you were growing up, was racism or did they tell you how they grew up? And
Absolutely, yeah. My parents, they shared with me, you know, some of the things that they went through. But my parents always, you know, kind of like your parents, they told me, you know, treat people the way you want to be treated.
yeah,
You know, and the people aren't necessarily going to treat you right in return, but you know, you treat people like you want to be treated, and that's what they instilled in me and my, you know, my sisters and my brother.
yeah.
You know.
See, that's what's interesting because you're trying to. It's basically the same thing. It's really about your house,
Yeah. It starts at home, man.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at home.
and that's why I'm trying to help people understand that. You know, I talked to Daryl, another friend of mine. He'll be in the service on the video stuff, but he was just talking about how we went and ate at his house yesterday, played basketball, whatever, and he was just making a comment that I didn't really fully grasp or understand or appreciate. But he was like, "Man, it's making a statement just you coming to eat at my house to everybody in this neighborhood
Absolutely.
that I'm okay with white people coming to my house to eat."
Yeah.
And I was like, Daryl, I've never, like, because he's come to my house to eat. He's done life group over there. His kids come to my life group with my kids. But I've never thought of that. So then we went out and we were playing street ball last night.
Yeah.
And I defeated him.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm going to just bring it on up because he was trying to mouth off on me. I had pork chop so full, the best pork chop I've ever eaten in my life. Daryl made from it. But I beat him in horse. I mean, it wasn't a lot. But
He probably let you win.
well,
You were a
Yeah, 'cause-
guest.
he might have. But
I mean, it's Daryl.
But Daryl, we were
Yeah.
talking some smack. Just you'll see. There's a little video in the preview service. We're gonna play.
I just don't want you to fool yourself into thinking
Well,
you really
guys,
did it.
I gotta have a win if I get a win.
Well, he's got to reel him in. He ain't gonna come back and play again unless
That's
he wins.
what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, now next
Really?
yeah.
You were
he-
the
But wait,
guest.
you were playing horse?
Do you know what horse is?
I do, but that's not street ball. That's a
then
game
we
of
played a
horse.
second game of street ball.
Okay.
Two
Okay,
on two.
Just wanted that
I
to be
appreciate
out
you
there.
holding him accountable
Yeah.
because.
But anyway, in all that, I never thought through that when he was serious,
Right.
like because he's another good friend for a long time. I've never thought of Daryl anything other than I love him as a brother and ain't no big deal to me. But that he's saying, no, dude, this says something whenever, and I'm thinking, wow, like this, and how emotional everything is, where I'm trying to learn from that because in a lot of ways, I don't fully understand. That's why I try to talk to you. I want you to talk
Yeah.
on the podcast because I think there's a lot of people that, just like me, that are trying to understand and want to do better. We want to try to figure out how to be a proactive part of the solution and not intentionally or unintentionally add to the problem.
Yeah.
Like Drew Brees accidentally, unintentionally added to the problem yesterday while we were eating lunch.
Yeah.
And you're a Saints fan.
Yeah, I'm a Saints fan.
So we were joking, talking at lunch because you were eating. I was telling them, I was like, we were eating, but you kept your eyes on the TV
Yeah,
because he came out with an apology.
he did.
So let's talk about that. We ain't here to play tiddlywinks. We're here to talk.
What do you want to talk? What do you want to say about it?
So
I-
in your mind, like, as
Man.
I said, dude, I think the dude's legit and genuine in his apology, and I think he regretted, based on what I have seen and what I have read, and that he regretted what he said. So I want to hear
Justin,
what you
I
say.
think you got to know what you're talking about before you open your mouth, man. That's
not my specialty either.
Yeah. I think
Definitely
you need to know
not
about
mine.
what you're talking about, and I think if an individual's doing something and you don't understand why they're doing it, maybe you need to sit down and talk with them and ask him why. And I think that whole kneeling thing, I think Kaepernick, this is what I heard.
Okay.
Before he did that, he talked with somebody that served in the armed forces, and that's the advice that he got. So
He said if he's going to make a statement, that was the best way.
that's the best way to just take a knee.
Yeah.
So
Well, I heard after today, and there was a lot of dialogue. It went south quick because we were filming. We went to film you, another friend of ours, Z and his mama, and then Daryl. And when we got in the car, the radio was blowing up. And Adam, our video guy, was the LSU's video guy. You know, he loves the Saints too. And he was like, "What is happening?" His the Twitter and all that stuff was blowing up. And I was like, "What's going on?" So we turned on the radio, and man, it was just like. And then they played the quote and everything, and I was like, "No, I hear what he was saying, but I hear their side of going, dude, this ain't the time. I mean, this ain't the time to be trying to open it up." And Michael Thomas, his wide receiver, was crying over that. I mean, literally a grown man shedding tears. Now, what I heard today
but it caused division on that team, man.
Yeah, it did.
If there was division, it created more division.
Yeah.
On the team.
I think they had a team meeting today to try to resolve it.
Yeah.
They're trying to work through
Maybe
it.
so.
Because here's what Tony Dungy, you know, believer, black man. I love what he said today on that subject. He said, "Here's what I'm going to tell you about Drew Brees." He goes, "I'm a Christian," Tony Dungy said. "Drew Brees is a Christian. I've known him for 20-plus years. You're supposed to judge a man by the fruit." Mm-hmm. He goes, "That man's fruit is good fruit." Mm-hmm. He made a statement he regretted and has asked for forgiveness. We must forgive him, learn from it, and continue the dialogue to get better. So let's move on, and let's try to figure that out. And I thought, that's pretty good advice. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. says, and you know Stephen A., another black man on ESPN, said, "Let me tell you what's great about it." He goes, "There's a lot of things I don't agree, but what is excellent about what Drew Brees did yesterday, unintentionally, is it creates communication." He said that is what has to happen. So some people weren't. Like some of the white were not going to talk.
Well, that's what we talked about yesterday.
That's
I said,
right.
man, you got to communicate.
Yep. And that's why I appreciate you coming today. And that's why you don't want to communicate about this, but I'm just trying to keep it real.
There's no problem communicating about it.
Yeah, I'm just trying. But you're a little nervous based on what's going to happen. Well, because we out there in it now. Yeah. But here's my thing. We can all talk in our rooms or in our privacy of our homes, or like me and you at lunch.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to, with your help, I'm not a black man. That ain't a secret to nobody. But I have friends that are. Mm-hmm. I want them to know I have long-time friendships with black people. Mm-hmm. And I wanted them to know and work through you helping us understand. Yeah. Because if I don't ask, it don't get better.
Yeah.
So that's why I love you, and I do appreciate you doing it, because I know you think I'm a little crazy anyway, but still, I appreciate it.
I always thought something was wrong with you.
All right, what else do we need to be working on?
You just wish I guess, you know, man, like I said, the main thing is communication. We got to talk it out, man.
Yeah.
And if you've seen in some of the protests, some of the heads of the departments were like, "What can we do?" And I think one of them said, "Walk with us." Mm-hmm. He said, "I'll walk with you."
Yeah.
You know, and while they were walking, they were talking.
Yeah.
And man, next thing you know, they were interlocking arms.
Right.
You know.
But it starts at the beginning.
Yeah, it started at the beginning. You know, just don't look at me and assume. Because we talked today at lunch, and I told you, I said, "See, there you go, you assuming."
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
What was I assuming? Do you remember? What did I
assume?
I can't remember what I was assuming.
Yeah, you assumed something, but I told you.
ZZ Top.
Yep. The song came on. And,
all right, so look. So this is a great illustration for people to learn from. So we're sitting at the table today, and it was probably offensive to him, and I wasn't intentionally trying to be offensive. Were you offended, honestly?
It didn't offend me.
No, but it was a good talking point then.
Absolutely.
So the radio came on, and a ZZ Top song came on. I don't remember which one even. And I said, "Who's that band right there?" And he goes, "Oh, you don't think I know?" I'm like, "No, I don't. It's ZZ Top."
Yeah.
He goes, "That's ZZ Top." I said, "Ooh, okay." He said, "With the long beard."
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I was like, "All right, that's all right. You didn't get it." He goes, "There you go, assuming."
Yeah.
So we were picking and talking and playing through it.
But I had to call you out on it.
Right, and I liked it.
You was like, I said, "Man, you assumed."
Yeah.
Well, you know why? You know why he knows ZZ Top?
No.
Because he's a sharp-dressed man.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, that was a dad pun if I ever heard it.
That's a good one, though.
He is always
And then I told you about the other illustration.
Tell me, I can't remember.
When we were in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my coworker, we were in Chicago.
Yeah.
and
This is
I
funny.
think Kirk Franklin. They had a gospel concert.
Yeah.
And my coworker, he came with me, and Kirk so happened to stay in the same hotel
Right.
that we were staying in. So we went. My coworker came to the concert, and he was lost, because he had never listened to that type of gospel
Right.
music before. So I told him, I gave him my phone, and I said, take a picture of Kirk Franklin, and because I couldn't see him. The crowd, I couldn't see for the crowd.
Why?
But he was a little bit taller. He was
Oh.
a little bit taller.
Oh, so your height had hindered your ability
That
to
ain't what
see.
we talking about.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. I'm going to keep
So
it.
I told him to take a picture, and he turned back. He said, man, all I see is some short guy jumping up and down on the stage. I said, that's him. So he took the pictures, but we came back to the hotel.
Right.
And, Kirk was in the lobby, and I went up and I shook his hand, introduced myself, and he asked who the other guys. I said, these are my coworkers. He asked where we were from, and we told him. He said, man, that's not far from where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked, and
He lives in Dallas.
Yeah. So my coworker, he said he shook his hand, and my coworker said, man, I have no idea who you are. And he said, my name is Gary Coleman. And he said,
You
nice.
don't even know who Gary Coleman is.
He said, nice to meet you, Gary. I said, man, his name's not Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman, different stroke.
Yeah.
What you
remember
talking about,
that.
Willis?
Yeah, so
I remember Gary.
Yeah, but
So-
like,
I too remember Gary
so
Coleman. Thank
Kirk
you.
Franklin introduced himself as Gary Coleman, and
Yeah.
his coworker's like, okay, nice to meet you,
He
Gary.
said, that
Yeah.
ain't Gary.
yeah, I was, man, that ain't Gary.
That ain't.
His name ain't Gary. And he said, man, I have no idea who you are. And he said, man, I'm Kirk Franklin. And, he shook his hand and
Right.
all of that. And I said, that's the guy you took the picture of. He said, oh, okay. And he asked him, he said, what kind of music you like to listen to? He said, I listen to Journey, and I listen to Nickelback. And Kirk said, yeah, I like Nickelback too. And he said, nah, I don't believe that. and he said, well, name me 2 songs.
So his coworker's kind of front.
Right.
Kirk Franklin said, well, name me 2
He
songs.
said, well, name me 2 songs. And Kirk popped 2 off right off the bat. And he said, I like you. And Kirk said, man, I listen to all different genres of music, man. He said, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And Kirk.
So him and Kirk was friends then.
Well, but it's funny because music brings people together. And
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. This past weekend, Kirk Franklin collaborated with 2 people that we know very well, Luke and Joel for King of Country. That was the video from the COVID
was
video.
good.
And Tori Kelly is another girl that sang, but he was on the TV this past week. We had him
okay.
on there. But the reason I say that is some people, music. I'm that way. I like a lot of different things. Some people like certain things, but that's what's interesting. If you can open yourself up, even listen, you can learn from it.
Yeah.
It does give you a different perspective, a different style. Because
does.
I told, and not a lot of people know this. Greg Walker will know this, but we got on this subject at lunch, and I said, well, man, I'm gonna tell you one of my most interesting experiences when it comes to music, because we went from ZZ Top, and he fronted me, and I said, well, I'm gonna.
You fronted me.
Oh, that's what I mean. But then you fronted me back.
I just called you out. I
Right.
didn't front you. I just
Well,
called you out.
whatever.
I called you out on it.
So then I said, well, I can remember in Hearst Coliseum. Now, I snuck into all the '80s shows back when I was a kid. I was illegal. I illegally went in because my mama wouldn't let me go in. I don't need judgment. This is a judgment-free zone right here, Wendell.
No, I'm just saying.
We do not promote breaking into concerts.
I didn't pay. My mom didn't have no money, and we weren't going to pay for all them
I'm
concerts.
saying, how'd you get in though?
Back in the '80s, they'd
'Cause
swing
he's
the doors.
Justin.
No, it wasn't. They swung open the doors for smoke breaks. People come out and smoke we did this, and there'll be a podcast coming out right after this one that will explain that. When that door would come open, we would run in and get past the security guard and get onto the floor, and they couldn't find you, and then you can enjoy whatever concert for free. I do not endorse nor believe this is the correct way. This was the '80s, though.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the '90s, I was listening to all types of music, which you'll know that in a minute because you didn't know I knew something back in the day.
Yeah.
But I saw Mississippi Mass Choir at the Hearst Coliseum. And I took a couple of my friends, and we were the only white folks up in there because they're like, man, what are these dudes doing up in here? But I loved it.
Did you pay to get in?
Yeah, I paid for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going. I was older and
They
wiser
probably
by
would
then.
have found you in there, huh?
Yeah, they would have found me in there if I snuck in through the door. I might have got caught.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but I know a little diversity in some music. How about that?
Mississippi Mass.
How about that Jesus on the main line? When you was going through a troubled time, and I said, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Could I bring it to you?
Yeah, you brought it to me.
He has some heavy stuff going on. I said, man, he's always on that main line. All you got to do is call him up.
Always on that main line. Yeah.
That's that old stuff right there.
Because you can call your friends and sometimes they won't answer, man.
I don't, who you talking about?
But he's
always available.
Always
Right.
on the main line.
All right, other lessons. Give us something because this is all that's helpful. So we went through your early Kroger years, but was there other circumstances or situations where you would see people not treating maybe your kids or your family? Is there any family stories or anything that you go, man, it's been around?
Yeah, it's been around. It's a lot of stories, man, that I could tell you, and we can go on, but
Well, the reason I'm saying is people don't fully understand unless they hear it from somebody who's experienced it.
yeah, I think just like you said earlier, Justin, don't judge me, don't look at me and judge me. Take for instance, what was that, New York?
Mm-hmm.
The guy that was the bird watcher.
And the girl freaked out because she was walking her dog.
Yeah, all he asked her was to put the dog on the leash.
It went south.
Yeah, and what would have happened if it hadn't been recorded?
That's a good point.
Yeah. What would have happened? Because we saw what she did, and she called 911. So
That's tough.
yeah.
Are y'all familiar with that
I
situation?
am, and last night I had life group last night, a bunch of fellas, and
good.
it makes me think about Wendell when you say that, because Andy Stanley started off the lesson with a little small piece about the current events. He added it to it, and he said something in there that was rich for our group, and I think for us too. And he said, in these situations, there is a natural tension that's going to happen, that is happening. And he said, pay attention to the tension. So in other words, when you think about that story and you think about us trying to listen more, there's tension in these discussions oftentimes because we don't understand. No two people really understand each other without seeking to understand.
Or having a relationship.
Yeah, and giving it a try.
Yeah.
And Andy did a great job of just saying, look, guys, if you do nothing else this week, make it a goal to find somebody that looks different from you and sit down with them and start the relationship.
That's big.
That was his challenge. So I think about that situation where you said, thank God it was videotaped. And, that is a reality that we have to grow out of as a society. But it's not going. You said at the very beginning of this podcast, it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's not happening overnight.
But it will happen one relationship at a time, one person at a time.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where I find myself today is I don't understand. I mean, just being totally transparent, I am trying to learn. It's like drinking from a fire hose this week because this topic has been so prevalent in everything we read and watch. And I'm like, man, I don't think I understand.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I work with a lady that has a relative that was friends with the guy in the park, and I guess she tweeted or something. She said, "Meet Christian Cooper, the black man that was threatened in Central Park by a white woman, Amy Cooper. He is a Harvard University graduate, a writer, former Marvel editor, and current biomedical editor for Health Science Communications, board member at Audubon Society, who happens to love bird watching, not a criminal. Hashtag a human being."
wow.
This is why we talked about it before we got in here. I just think we all got a lot to do to get better. And I think it has to start with getting to know the people that are around you and taking the time to start the conversation. Because we've been friends a long time. My life is better for that, and I mean that. There's been laughs. There's been good times.
I mean, I helped you.
Yeah, you helped me, dog.
Yeah, helped you.
You helped me. But my thing is I don't know that a lot of other people even have one black friend. So part of that is being willing to stretch yourself or go beyond that and to not make it an acquaintance, but a friend.
Yeah.
Like that you're able to go, no, I know that guy. No,
It's a difference.
yeah, it's like, no, but I mean, like, I got you. If something's, I mean, let's talk through this. I mean, and we won't go into all of our details.
Yeah.
There's some highs and lows we've been through.
Absolutely.
So of different things where it's like, man, I'm walking through or talking through this or that. Well, that's what I'm trying to say is, and it wasn't about color. It's about, that's my friend, or I'm trying to listen, or man, here's what I think you need to do, Wendell, and you tell me, well, here. It's a normal friendship.
Yeah.
Accountability, encouragement,
Yeah.
Guidance, whatever it is. And I don't know that a lot of my friends have that of someone of color. Now, again, whatever reason I say, obviously black, but I'm talking about even Hispanic. Now, I can say like the McDaniels, something happened recently is we had a co-worker. I mean, actually, the McDaniels own a construction company, and their main brick guy came to my house, and he's from Mexico. Well, he's brown. He ain't black, he's brown. But, man, I ain't never met a finer guy. And so I just got to love on him and talk to him, and they love him and talk to him. And
You told me that, though.
yeah, and he came back recently and had a whole heart-to-heart about his relationship with Christ, and then he died like a week later.
Really?
And I told Donnie and Lisa, I'm a better man for knowing Margarito. He made me better. And that's the thing is like when you're judgmental or prejudiced or you're missing out on great relationships with great people, regardless of their skin color, and they're going to make you better. Now, where I know we still got a lot of work to do is the Simple Church has some diversity, but not near enough.
Not near enough.
But somehow, to take the same principles, that's a relationship with somebody else that makes that happen. So if all white people only associate with white people, then that's what happens in the church. This is why it goes back to the black. Your church is predominantly black as well.
Yes.
And we've talked about it before, is they don't want to get outside the walls at times. Now, we all joke with them and we talk, and just like ours don't want sometimes, but that's what does help is when we go, like we got over there and we cooked and we ate and we worked together, some of the walls came down.
Yeah.
Because by the second or third time, or everybody begins to relax, like, no, this is it.
Yeah.
But it took time for that to happen.
It took time.
And it still ain't where it could be. I mean, there's still room to grow. There's still so much more that can come out of that.
And somebody has to make that move, man. And you made that move.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, because the first time I thought you were coming alone, and you brought people with you.
Yeah.
Stepped out a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to talking, and I think some of the members started mingling with each other. And,
Yeah.
Hey, you got kids?
That's exactly right.
How many you got? Oh, they're right over here. And
And then by like with these last ones, all the kids were playing together
playing together.
and eating.
Yeah.
And we was eating.
Yeah.
And working together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now I only say
Man, them kids will play together
Oh,
all
yeah.
day.
but with us adults have to set it up, man.
Jacked
we gotta
up,
lead it
man.
up. We gotta lead it.
Yeah.
So we got another work project.
We can learn from the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got another work project.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it out on Sunday.
You want to throw it out?
I'm gonna
on
throw it
Sunday?
out right now though too,
Yeah.
though, in case somebody's listening on podcast. We're gonna help him. He needs to get his baptistry removed and a new one installed. So we're gonna make that happen.
You say you're gonna help out.
I ain't
Help me out.
I ain't just gonna help out. I'm gonna do like I did with them chairs and like we did with the
Hey.
microphones, like we did with that Mac computer.
Yeah.
But not like what we did with the organ.
Yeah, and
That's where I
And-
failed you.
and the paintbrush.
Yeah. But we're gonna get that.
Because
Dude,
you was just holding it.
dude, I worked. I'm tired of
You
that.
didn't
I ain't
have
putting
no
up with
paint
that
on
today.
no paint on your clothes.
I was
None.
supervisor the last time.
Who promoted you?
Well, sometimes you got to self-promote.
Self promote.
Oh boy.
Sometimes we got it done, though, didn't we?
It was done, man.
That's why I was telling your pastor, your uncle, yesterday. I was like, man, y'all tell me what we need to be working on. Because we put the sound system. John Vance
Yeah.
helped us get the sound system
John
in.
Vance, came over.
So we're talking about
yeah.
microphones, sound system. I mean, but the reason I say that,
Yeah.
and I told him then, we don't have a building. So to have the little bit of the resources to be able to help somebody that has and that building's it's getting better, but
Yeah.
it was old, but it just
Yeah.
needed some help. But they're working hard at it and doing all these. But I was telling him, John, I took Mom over there. Before she passed.
Oh yeah.
And man, she was in heaven. She probably would have transferred membership to Second Mount Zion and left Symbol
Yeah.
Church if she'd have known that was there.
You had to get out of there.
I
man.
said, Mama, you got to come on because you can't be hanging out just the whole time over here. We got to get you moving. But she loved it.
Yes.
But that's where I go back to, we just got to learn. As parents, we got to set that
She
example.
caught the beat too. I think you struggled.
If you're gonna talk
But
about
she
somebody,
was-
hold
she was
on.
on the beat. She was on the beat.
And you and I both just talked about this. Let's talk. Don't throw the beat back on me. Do you have rhythm as a black man?
I got it, man.
No, don't you lie,
got it.
Jesus.
I
Take
got
the wheel. You know good and well. Just at lunch, what did you tell me? Your sister got it. Your brother got
Brother
it.
got it.
And who missed it? Wendell Holmes is who missed it. You ain't got no rhythm. I've seen you, so I don't care what you say.
Call my whole name out.
He said I didn't get your middle name in there.
Please don't.
Oh boy. He joked. He said, "Man, I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't have a whole lot of rhythm. It
I
skipped
don't
me.
have any.
They don't have.
I
it.
have none.
That's all
So you're
right.
in good
Hey,
company.
but God, He does everything is perfect.
He does.
Somebody got to carry that equipment in.
I said we roadies, ain't we? That's what I was a
Come
roadie.
on,
You
and
was a roadie.
set it up. And guess what? They can't start it until I set it up.
That's exactly right.
What I'm talking
An
about.
important role, man.
Hey,
Yes.
dude, this, by the way, I just, like Sunday, because this will air before Sunday, we're mixing down the music stuff. We brought in some more friendships and relationships we had.
Yeah.
There's some flavor coming.
Oh yeah.
Whoo, there's some flavor. So you might want to get that fork ready because that flavor is coming.
Oh man.
Get the
I ain't-
fork
I ain't
ready.
Yeah, you
worried
got to
about
eat
that.
it, baby. I don't
They
understand.
introduced me to no flavor. man. I
Oh,
already
I'm just
got
talking about
man.
at the Simple Church.
Already
With
got
sometimes, no, you got it, but we don't have
Yeah.
it. I'm just saying we need encouragement. When you see it, you might go, all right, that's pretty good right
you,
there.
you don't have to actually eat it. You can just listen to it. Just want to point
Appreciate you
that out.
clarifying
Yeah,
that.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These guys, they don't know. But just
Yeah.
tune in.
But
Then
I
tell me
told
what
you,
you
my
think.
brother gonna come and show you something on that set.
Yes,
Yeah.
he got a brother that can play and can cook.
Oh yeah, I showed you the stuff there.
He had a picture of baking that food, and then you're offering because like we've helped you,
Yeah.
little. So maybe when we do our partner party, you gonna like help us.
Absolutely.
And they got a little catering company. Dude, you should see the food, Scott, that his brother and them are making.
Well, that's
You got-
what I was going
you
to say.
Show
is-
him some pictures, man.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
but
the-
last time I'd gotten in trouble. I mean, I got on to Scott because I'll
Oh,
show you
okay.
pictures later.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's called what now? What do you think the catering company's going to be? Is it too early?
Okay. Yeah. I can't
Okay,
tell you
okay.
that right
No,
now.
I'm cool. I respect that. But we got them named. We're working on it.
Yeah.
That-
Well, no, but what I was going to say is like music, the other great equalizer is food.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause everybody's got to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Some of us more than
And
others.
you know what old Putt Putt told me that his black coach up in Spring Hill told him, you'll love this. Putt's another one of my friends, white guy. He's like, you know what my coach taught me? And he's like, what's that? He said, Putt Putt. He said, you can't be mad and eat, baby. You can't be mad and eat.
That's good.
And he's talking about, they would do dinner on the grounds, or they would do a team meal for the team if they were kind of divided, or whatever. He was just like, dude, you can sit down and it is the equalizer. It kind of brings
cool.
some peace and some smiles in when you're doing that. Look, you believe that? And he looked. They got to talk to him. This is
He
YouTube,
just shook his head.
but they need you to be able to say a word.
I was in deep thought, man.
Oh.
He gave me those little.
He's a-
That's why I told him. He's like,
Yeah.
"You've talked a lot in here. I'm proud of you because
Oh,
this
yeah.
ain't your. You usually ain't like wanting to talk.
You kind of got me in here today.
Man, you doing it for me though, dude. You making it happen.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
And man, and one day we'll get to the point where we can talk about our friends. I can talk about Scott to other people, and I ain't got to say Scott's a white guy, or
Right.
Wendell's a black guy,
Uh-huh.
or Justin's a white guy.
Right.
My friend, my brother.
Right.
So was you tripping that I was naming what they were? Is that what you got in
No,
deep
I'm
thought on?
just saying I thought about a guy that did that all the time.
right.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
He was
Every time he talked about somebody, he would tell you if they were white or black. And I'm like,
What difference it make?
why you always got to do that?
Mm.
And he did it every time until I called him out on it.
You said, dude, I don't
Like,
need to know what.
I just wanted you to know who he
Was the guy telling you a
Yeah.
white guy?
Yeah.
Was the white guy telling? He was the one that was telling what the colors were.
Yes.
So he wanted maybe some validation that he knew black people.
Don't take up for him.
No, I'm not taking off. I'm trying to. It's a conversation.
No. It wasn't that, because he would do it with the white guys too. You
Yeah.
know, he was,
I wonder
you know,
why
talk
he
about
did.
that.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know. I
We
don't
just
know.
talking.
But
I'm
I had
trying
I had to break that up.
Yeah,
Hey,
you said
you
no.
ain't got to tell me what color they are.
Okay.
Just tell your story.
All right.
Just tell your story.
All right. Any other wisdom? Wendell wisdom.
Ooh, I
This
like
is a
that.
good one. Yeah.
we have to
you-
do it next
double.
time, man.
Double W.
Yeah.
I'll bring you some more next time.
Well, I'm gonna
If
bring
there's
up.
a next time.
Oh, there'll always be a next time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna bring up one thing you said Sunday as a precursor.
Okay.
As like a little tease for this Sunday.
Okay.
When I said, "Well, man, what are you thinking?" You said, "Man, it really is a heart issue."
Absolutely.
So explain what you meant, in case someone doesn't see the service, or like when you talk about a heart issue when it comes to prejudice, racism, whatever, fill in the blank.
Man, I was in church as a little boy. My mom, we all had to go to church. And the guy was preaching. And he said, if you look at the situation, the heart of the problem is the problem of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart's got to be right, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be honest. You got to be genuine. If you ain't loving me from your heart, then you really ain't loving me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now to tag along with that, the reason I want to bring that back up,
And then we talked about the comfort zone.
we're gonna get in the comfort zone in a minute, but let me go
Okay.
back to the genuine in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went and interviewed other people for Sunday relationships, I'm trying to just talk to us, tell us. You know that was the common theme in every one of the conversations.
Really?
You didn't. You were first because
Yeah.
I interviewed you first.
Yes.
And then we went to Z, who's a Southern baseball player, plays baseball at Southern. He went with us to Guatemala. Outstanding young man. So I was like, Z, would you kind of talk, whatever? And then we had Z's mama to kind of get the perspective of her child and her worry for him growing up in this world. And then Daryl. And every one of them said, dude, I know when someone's genuine or not. I know when it's legitimate or not.
Yeah.
I can see right through it. And so when someone comes back and if they really still got some hang up on them or they still not really, it's like, man, just save it.
Just save
if
it.
you ain't genuinely loving me or caring, wait till you can get to that place. And I told him, I said, I get it. And that's why I'm going and the reason I'm assuming that that's so hurtful is because it's like they're faking it to make themselves look better when the reality is they ain't getting no better.
They ain't getting no better.
Because Daryl said, I'll tell a story on Simple Church, negative. Usually we're positive.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a negative one. He's a greeter. And there's a white guy named Mike. I got to tell him what color he is because there's a difference between a white guy and a black guy in this greeting. Look at it. Do you know what I'm saying? No, I'm telling this story. Don't roll your eyes.
Don't be like that other guy.
No, I'm not. I'm making you sure you understand something because this is prevalent or pertinent to the information I'm fixing to give you. Prevalent and pertinent. I never put words together right. I went to Southwood.
No.
It's pertinent. The white guy can greet someone coming to the church at Simple Church. Hey, man, what's going on, Wendell? Whoever. Daryl will be standing right next to him. They won't even look at him or say nothing to him. The person coming in. And Mike, the other greeter, who is white, would look at me and say, man, I'm sorry. Because Mike's going, man, that's wrong. And they're realizing, he said, it don't happen a lot, it don't happen all the time. But Daryl said, but that it happens is hurtful. Like, people don't understand. It would be like going to somewhere and ignoring someone, and the only assumption could be, I'm black, so you're ignoring me because you don't like me, or I'm scary to you, or whatever the thing is. And so we were walking through that yesterday because Daryl said also there are people that come in and it's a genuine hug, and it's the light of my day. It's the genuine interaction or whatever it's like. Because he does it with all of, he goes like, y'all my boys, y'all family. I ain't never worried about y'all because, that was, but at the same time, it was exactly what you were saying. It's like, dude, they can tell, you can sense it,
Man, I was in a situation one time when I was a supervisor. and this guy walked up to my coworker and assumed that he was the boss because of
The color of his skin.
the color of his skin. So he went on and he went on and went on, and then the coworker said, "That's good, but everything you just told me, you got to tell it to that man over there because he's the boss." And he looked over at me. I said, "Don't worry about it. I heard everything. We good."
See, that's
Yeah.
because you kind, man.
Yeah, And I was at work too, so
Yeah.
You are sweet, though.
Yeah.
But it hurt a little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get
Oh, yeah.
to. Is it does hurt.
He has just automatically assumed that the other guy was the supervisor
Mm-hmm.
because of the color of his skin.
It just
Yeah.
made me think of something else that I bet you have forgotten that me and you did. Because it made me a little uncomfortable.
We
But I
didn't
loved
we didn't break the law, did
it.
we?
No,
Okay.
we was law abiding.
Okay.
Do you remember when I came over to your meeting of the over on the west side of town? Your meeting for was it a birthday party? But it was at the club. Not
the Masonic
Mas-
hall. Yeah.
and it was predominantly black.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember pulling up in there and thinking, boy, I hope Wendell's in here. 'Cause they liable to think I'm crazy pulling up in here. You remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Because that's another example where, what was it? Who was it? What were we doing over there?
I think it's probably a birthday.
I can't remember, but I just remember going, and there wasn't many white folks.
Yeah. Maybe a promotion or something.
Yeah, maybe, man, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like, man, this is keeping it real.
Yeah.
Because it was like the same way it's reversed. There's assumptions based on like, hey man, you in the
Yeah.
wrong neighborhood.
Yeah. Right.
Like, hey, what? you trying to turn around? Like, no man, I'm trying to park.
Yeah.
They're like, you parking here?
Yeah.
Like, yeah man, I'm here for Wendell. Oh, Wendell,
Yeah.
come on in, man. They think I'm turning around.
Yeah.
Hey
Come
man,
on,
you lost.
You never shared that with me.
But I know, but it's the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just funny though because it's just reversed.
Yeah.
But for you, I was gonna do whatever. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But you could tell they like looking at me all, at that corner of that eye, like,
Well, I
hold
went
on.
to a wedding one time, and I felt the same way.
Yeah, it's like they
Yeah.
like, man, what's he doing here?
Yeah. It was at a house, so I was really looked at.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got
And
hopefully
I
we gonna
seen-
get over all that.
And I saw B. Reed. I said, "Oh, thank God, B. Reed's here."
you got a pod now.
Oh yeah, B. Reed's in the house. Yeah.
What were we gonna say? There was the comfort zone.
Yeah, the comfort zone.
Let's get into that, and then how much time? Where are we at?
You're at an hour and 2 minutes.
Oh wait,
Well,
We got to land this plane.
we got to land it.
Yeah.
So, but this is what we were talking about on comfort zone. Go ahead.
Well, I think I shared with you. I said, man, it ain't easy. It's not hard, but it's not as comfortable as you'd like it to be.
Yes.
And the more we practice it, the more comfortable we'll become. But you gotta get out of that comfort zone, man. And when I was another sermon, a guy talked about the Good Samaritan. He talked about how the man was on the side of the road, and the man stopped and tended to him or whatever, and put him on the beach, took him to the inn, and to whatever it's owed when I come back, I'll take care of that.
Right.
You got to sometimes real love means sometimes taking yourself out of the position of comfort to help another.
You're right about that.
Man, it's so easy to stop on the side of the road and somebody's there and say, hey, here's $5, go get you something to eat. Here's $10, go get you something to eat. But are you willing to take that person?
Yeah.
Hey, we at the restaurant. They're right outside the restaurant. Are
Yeah.
you willing to say, hey, come on in, I'm going to dine with you?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's so easy to just take that money out and, but when you get the manual, like I seen you in that flower bed, you wasn't really doing nothing. But when you were in that
Dude,
flower bed,
you need to
Is
talk
that
to
another
Jesus.
photo op?
yeah.
It ain't on there.
He
I
wanted
ain't got no.
He
The
wanted to
truth
get his
is,
hands dirty.
the truth is,
I'm gonna tell you what he did. He put his hands down that mulch, and I saw him get up, and he wiped him on his pants.
you need to.
Yeah.
You need
bro.
forgiveness, Jesus. You need to forgive him right now. All I was gonna say on that is, and it's funny, just on pictures. We need to take more pictures because
Yeah.
one day we're gonna get old and look back on it. Because I don't have enough. I got pictures of other people doing stuff, but when I look back, I was like, man, I wish. So I found one picture that I had to zoom in to get me and you.
Yeah.
And then like Samaritan's Feet, he came. We were joking about it. He was at the last Samaritan's Feet event. Now, were you on time, Wendell? I'm not even gonna look at you. Were you on time? Look at YouTube.
What
and you'll see
time
which
did
way
it?
I'm looking.
What time did it start?
You don't like mornings. I said, Wendell, are you coming?
I was running a little late.
Yeah, all right. So I was like, Wendell.
I see a pattern here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I said, he
Hey,
said, well,
Scott,
man.
morning person again.
Yes.
They started kind of early. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started.
It's
what
early.
time? Yeah, we started at 7.
But he came.
I came.
The bottom line is he came. So I have that picture of us laughing and cutting up.
Yeah.
But what we were talking about in all of that is moving. Same way with the laundry thing.
Yeah.
We were talking to your church, going, y'all got to get uncomfortable a little bit.
Absolutely.
So it was like, just like it is with our church, it's like we're trying to, and then me and you would talk to the pastor, whichever pastor we
Yeah.
had at the time at Second Mountain High. We went through a few since then.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I'd be like, man, that dude's got to learn to get a little uncomfortable, stretch himself, get
Yeah.
out of the box. We
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
try
yeah.
to figure. So what I love about you is that you do get that, and you are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to learn from you, and we're trying to continue to keep pushing ourselves to do the same thing. So we're finna get uncomfortable again very soon. Before COVID is released and we get back in the churches, we got to fix his.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
need to go back over and get that baptistry done. We'll figure it out. We got to have some iron cutters, though, because
Oh, yeah.
that baptistry
Yeah.
is straight up metal and
It's
heavy.
metal. Oh yeah.
And it's gone.
It's gone.
And then we're going to get a muralist. I may see if Chris,
Uh-huh.
before he leaves, can paint him something in the baptistry before he
All right.
goes. But we're going to make it happen, dude.
We
We're
gonna
going
make it
to try
happen.
to take the next
Muralist?
level, baby.
Yeah.
We're working together.
Working together.
Muralist.
Muralist.
Yeah, it's a muralist.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Is that right?
You just call him an artist.
No, but it's a muralist is a special
I
artist.
understand, but
Yeah.
An artist is, shoot, that
I
could
heard-
be
I
anything.
heard
think it's the way you
muralist.
say it.
Muralist.
Muralist.
Yeah, like I
That's
was
like
picturing.
oil.
I thought
I had to
you were
spell
putting like a
O-I-L.
big mirror
He
up
wasn't
there.
sure what you were saying.
Yeah, because I was
picturing.
picturing like a
He ain't the
mirror, like you
first.
wanted
Yeah.
a mirror
He said
baptistry.
It's a muralist.
We ain't got time for all this foolishness. Ain't nobody
got
got time.
time.
No,
You ain't got
we
time.
done with this. It's time to go to the house.
All right.
All right.
Wendell,
Thank you for being
Thanks,
here, Wendell.
Wendell.
And I appreciate y'all.
Hey, thanks for getting out of your comfort zone and coming here.
Yeah, you're surrounded by 3 white guys. That don't feel good.
Why you got to point out what color we are?
Because I'm making sure if they ain't watching, they know.
There's no fear.
Because you among friends. Hopefully you know
Yes.
that. But seriously, thanks for giving us the perspective.
Even if I didn't know you, no fear.
I like that.
I like
That's what
that.
I'm talking about. son.
God has not given us a spirit.
That's right. Amen.
He's
Come on. Oh,
starting to
now I ain't
preach
finna
now.
preach, baby. Oh, he'll preach. This is my associate pastor, but he just don't show up to church on time. Because mornings, he ain't for the mornings.
That's it.
I'm like, where you at, Wendell? Oh, yeah, I'm coming. I'm
Yeah.
coming.
Hey, I said, hey, I come more than you think I come. You said, I know when you come.
Yeah, I said, no, don't try to play that.
know where you
Don't
come.
try to play that. I love you, dude. Thank you for all that you're
Oh,
doing.
man, thank y'all, man.
All right, we're going to get better, baby. We got to keep moving. Got to keep trying to listen and keep trying to put it into action, man. Not just listening, but then eventually do something about it.
Absolutely.
So I love you, dude.
Action. Take action.
That's it, baby. Until next time, what do we say? Peace. Thanks,
Peace.
Scotty Poo. That's it.